It has been 10 months and 1 week since the release of Marvel Spider-Man 2, which means we're rapidly approaching a year since the release of this game. And a lot of people are wondering and just trying to find out where the updates are that are that are going to fix various issues with the game. Where's the DLC? And for the DLC part, I can say that God of War Ragnarok's DLC came out like a year after, right? A year after the original game. So there's still hope for Marvel Spider-Man 2, plus Insomniac's still dealing with the hack, so that could have pushed things off. There's also a rumored PlayStation State of Play for the end of September, end of this month. So there is that. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about things that Marvel Spider-Man 2 has yet to fix, and well, more so Insomniac Games has yet to fix or at least address for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I am aware that most of their dev team is now working on Marvel's Wolverine, or potentially the DLC, I don't know. But there is a whole lot to talk about here. So, make sure as well in the comments below if you faced any issues or if you want to see certain things fixed. Let me know in the comments below alongside what, potential DLC suits you guys would like to see. So, for me personally, one of the biggest things I'd really like to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2 would be a horde mode. So, just to have pretty much combat that goes on until you die, right? So like until you reach a high score or until you die, you can choose your difficulty, and a leaderboard system would be cool for that, but I highly doubt leaderboards would happen. But at least if you can have like high scores and things like that, you can kind of compare it with the community, compare it with friends, and you could just have a good time. You could have like symbiote enemies kind of come in as the difficulty ramps up, depending on how many like waves and things like that, because that's one of the fun things about Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's not just the web swinging that's incredible, the combat is also very, very fun as well, and they could really take advantage of that with just having we could even have like the Craven boss fight area as that like arena for this Infinite Horde mode. I think that would be fantastic and just a really good addition to the longevity of the game, because you could always just kind of jump in and just fight enemies and things like that. And speaking of enemies, another thing I really wish to see actually is in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, there's an option for you to choose what crimes you want from the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app, and that is missing from this game. I feel like it'd be really fun if you could just choose your own type of crime and just go after that, instead of just waiting for just doing a random Craven fight and then all of a sudden boom, symbiotes coming in, and then that's a pain on its own. But I don't mind the symbiotes, but it's kind of funny because you can't really choose what you really want to have fun with. So I think that would be a really cool addition as well. And of course, this next point has been talked about a lot. I've really talked about this since New Game Plus. They introduced different color styles for the tendrils, which is just black and white, right? But we have a bunch of different symbiote suit styles now. We've got like red, we've even got purple, even blue. So why not maybe extend that to this tendrils as well, and have options for like red tendrils, blue tendrils, purple tendrils, stuff like that, because there's a lot of different symbiote suits in the game that could use from that, like they could benefit from that change for the tendrils. I think that would be an incredible addition. Of course, that might be too much to ask, I don't know at this point, but Insomniac, if you're watching this, that would be another thing that's appreciated. This is just constructive feedback. This isn't a video where I'm just making fun of or whatever, because I wouldn't do that, and I understand game development takes time. It's a whole can of worms, codes and things like that. Things will bug out, things will crash, it will happen. That's just the reality of video game things, right? Now, a lot of you guys have wanted to see some more time of day options, actually, that you were talking about in the comments. Especially Ian here that said I made a video of Marvel Spider-Man 2 that's about Day of Time, and then there's like options that would like to see here. So like there's default, which is normal, and then for day you could have like rain, black wind tunnel. That is kind of interesting here, but I do wish that you could choose like if it's like raining or not during the day or during the night time, or even the morning or sunrise or sunset. I think that'd be really, really cool. and then having dusk and overcast, stuff like that would be really, really cool. And some of you guys did talk about as well maybe having snow, but snow is not really a possibility for this time of year that the game is set in. It would just change too much of the game. It made sense for Miles Morales because that's kind of the time frame, and it also added a bit of a change to the map from, you know, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. However, for Marvel Spider-Man 2, I don't really see that as being the case. Then the next thing that a lot of you guys actually want to see, and I agree with this, is, and this is by the Saint of Memes actually here that was suggested in the comments of a video, is to be able to change Miles's Mega Venom Blast to his OG Venom Blast. In addition, an option for his Venom jumps and dashes to have evolved versions, so his hands should glow and have electricity in his chest like in his solo game. And I also do want to add, you know, to have the blue like energy instead of the orange, so you can kind of like switch that, kind of like the tendrils. That'd be fun. Another option is to be able to enter Peter's house and Miles's apartment, and maybe some collectibles or trophies for collecting all of said collectibles. And you know, collectibles are always fun, but it would be cool to be able to just go into Peter's house and Miles's apartment. I mean, even the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game from like a decade ago at this point had that as an ability. You know, granted there wasn't much to do, but you could actually go in there and, you know, change your costume from that kind of menu, from his actual wardrobe, as well as, you know, you could choose like the missions that you would want to go to. Like from his wall, he'd have like a bunch of different like things all connected, where you could choose a mission, which was pretty cool. It was pretty interactive, very, very fun. I think that's a very cool detail to have in a video game. And please bring back the spider armor suit from 2018 game, you know, the one. Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool to have some more suits return. If DLC should have more Miles, I definitely agree with that. I feel like Miles should maybe go through a Carnage symbiote arc of his own. Obviously it'd be really rough, but Carnage is its own beast. Like, it's not just like Venom. Carnage is a mindless monster. Like, it will corrupt a user. Like, you know, it's very hard to fight that off. And Miles has had Carnage multiple times in the comics. Obviously, Miles has fought off the symbiotes in the story here. Like, he's fought off possession, but, you know, Carnage is its own thing, right? Leap of Faith suit, we didn't have it in the Miles game nor in this game. Please, I'd never take it off. That is very true. That is probably one of the other Miles suits missing. And then also Saint Meme said, yep, but I hope they recover from the data breach and they take their time with whatever update they want to give us. 100%, I really agree with this, and I appreciate this comment. And, you know, it's nice to see, you know, you guys say stuff like that. So there's also quite a few other things as well that people want to see, and one of these is mentioned by Hotdog3392, which I gotta say, I love the name, but seems like everyone forgot about the character BIOS tab, right? Like the BIOS, we need that too. A lot is missing. I do agree. I like going into the bio, like just the biographies of different characters and just reading up on them, like what they're doing, and it's nice to see like their image there, like their photo and stuff, and just being able to kind of enjoy the lore. And the other thing alongside this that I'd like to see is like credits for certain like characters, concepts that were used, like for the Venom wings, and, you know, just a lot of different stuff like that. I think it needs to be properly credited and addressed, especially for all the different costumes as well. I think it should have credits there for the different artists and different comics that they come from, because even like Marvel's, you know, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Midnight Suns, they all have the actual like credits and references there. So I think this is very, very important to have, especially in a game as successful as Marvel Spider-Man 2 is and continues to be. I think that is something that should be the case, 100%, no doubt about it in my mind. Yeah, there's genuinely a lot more that could be said here for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I mean, you know, there's always like more bug fixes and things. People have talked about like some of the suits have like a weird neck texture. I think the Iron Spider lenses need to be fixed still, because there's something buggy with that. I know, as well as like the Across the Spider-Verse suit, or it's Into the Spider-Verse, one or the other, has like, they share the same lenses, when in the movie it's actually, they both have different lenses and stuff like that. That's very tiny details, but considering they fixed the actual like the feet of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, I think that they'd be willing to fix that as well. And, you know, speaking of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, for the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, you know, that suit is wonderful in the game, of course, I love it, but it would be cool if there was like a little bit of like a redone thing for that to kind of make it look more like the movie itself. though that's just one of those things that I'd personally like to see that probably doesn't really need to be added, but at the same time, you know, it would be cool. Then another huge one that I just thought of is something to do with the actual Surge suits, and it's weird because they actually originally changed this. So for New Game Plus, you could use the Surge and it wouldn't replace the suit that you were wearing, and I really like that. I like that you could use the Surge with whatever suit you had on, because then you could have the Raimi Symbiote suit and you could use the Surge with that and it would look incredible. It would look like, you know, you're going on a rampage with the Raimi suit. But after the update, one of the updates actually ended up fixing that, and now even in New Game Plus, when you use your Surge, it doesn't, like, it just takes over whatever suit you're using. So I'd personally like to see that reverted, or at least as an option to be able to toggle that. Actually, another really cool thing I'd like to see is just to be able to kind of swing around as the young Peter Parker. I think that'd be really cool, considering we already have that model and we can just kind of run around. Yeah, I know it would like kind of break immersion or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to just run around and swing as, you know, like the young Peter Parker, or even like the current Peter, like with his regular outfit and stuff, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe just take one of his suits and just, like, one of his outfits and just put the Spidey mask on him. There you go, there's a fun, like, quick change suit. Like when he's at the wheel, like the big wheel as well, like when he does that quick change, that'd be really cool. Just stuff like that, just little things, you know. But we'll see what they actually, you know, add or whatever, and then let me know in the comments as well as what you want to see that I might have missed. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you agree as well, and have a wonderful day. Watch another video here. Peace.